How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Geeks Gamers Play. I'm Johnny64, and today I'm bringing you a video that is near and dear to my heart. So basically, around a week ago, Reggies Interview, who is the former president of Nintendo and still has a lot of connections, a lot of inside sources there with Nintendo, spoke about the F-Zero franchise. Now, FZero GX was awesome on the Nintendo 64. The soundtrack was incredible, the gameplay is fun, and you can actually play that on the Nintendo Online Expansion service right now if you wanted to. But FZero GX on the GameCube, I believe, is the greatest racing game ever created. It is incredible. It is so fast-paced, it is challenging, the music is awesome, and for the GameCube, the atmosphere is absolutely incredible. I cover that game quite a bit on my personal channel. The thing is, FZero GX was last seen in 2003, and then there was a handheld F-Zero game in 2004. And since then, we haven't got a new game on a Nintendo console, and big fans of the franchise like myself are starting to give up on hope altogether. Well, Reggies Interview is giving us reason to believe that there may actually be some hope. So again, this interview took place around a week ago, and he spoke on it. So let me go ahead and bring up the article real quick. So essentially, Reggie was asked, why was F-Zero abandoned? And this is what he had to say. The insight I would share is that, at least during my tenure, Nintendo developers were always experimenting with different gameplay styles, always thinking about where a unique experience could be applied back, either to an existing franchise or maybe creating a new franchise. My bet is that somewhere in the Kyoto development centers, some developer is playing around with the idea that might be applied to F-Zero. It's never a situation, at least in my experience, where the company makes a conscientious decision to not continue supporting XYZ franchise. Historically, it just hasn't worked that way, not when I was there. Now, whether or not this is genuine guessing from Reggie, or if he knows something about this franchise and about Nintendo's involvement that he's not telling us completely, is up for debate. Who knows whether or not he actually has inside information concerning this, or if he's just guessing at this point. Again, he hasn't been the president of Nintendo of America since 2019, but what's cool is that this at least gives the F-Zero franchise some hope. Because the fact that we haven't seen a new game in nearly 2 decades really feels like Nintendo has just given up on this franchise completely. They've said in the past that they want to bring something new, exciting, and innovative to the franchise if they were ever going to bring it back. What that is, I'm not so sure. A lot of us F-Zero fans would just love a new, updated, online version of F-Zero GX. Even if you ported it from the Nintendo GameCube and brought it to the Nintendo Switch, that'd be better than nothing, and we'd be thrilled with that. But because the sales of the F-Zero franchise were consistently plummeting, Nintendo has this idea that they would have to do a dramatic change to the franchise itself in order to justify bringing it back to Nintendo. I disagree. I think their marketing campaign was absolute garbage. I don't think they've done enough to really bring attention to the franchise. I mean, even if you look at the Smash Brothers games, there's Captain Falcon, but they haven't brought an additional character to bring exposure to that franchise outside of Captain Falcon. There's Blood Falcon, there's Black Bull, there's Deathborn. There's other characters that you could bring in and really give that franchise some recognition. But they haven't done that. I think that's mostly on Nintendo rather than the audience just doesn't like it. Because the people who have played the F-Zero games, F-Zero X, F-Zero GX, we freaking love those games. But this is encouraging to see from Reggie because at the very least it gives us hope something may or may not be in the works for F-Zero. Considering the fact that it's been about 18 years since we've seen the last game, I wouldn't get your hopes up that it's coming around soon, but it's possible. I wouldn't give up hope completely. So I hope we see something soon. Again, I believe it's one of the greatest games of all time. Play F-Zero X on the Nintendo 64 online Switch app if you haven't yet, but F-Zero GX on the GameCube is really where it's at. I believe that's the greatest racing game of all time. It's my personal favorite. So stay tuned. We'll have more news on this. Make sure to like and subscribe to Geeks and Gamers Play for more gaming industry news, and we will see you guys in the next video.